Hi and welcome to the Made in the AM podcast. My name is Fia and this is episode 33, and it's not Thursday morning. It's very much Thursday evening. It's still, it's 20 past 6 in the evening, and we have changed into summertime or daylight savings time, so it's still light out, and I thought I'd take advantage of that since I arrived back late today, so I wasn't able to do a recording this morning. I did consider maybe doing it tomorrow instead, but I figured, well, I'm in the mood. It's still light out. Might as well do it. And ignore that my hair and everything else is a mess. It's what you get. So, starting off, I am doing the Naughty Nitwits. I'll just put my remote down or else I'll accidentally throw it at you at some point. We wouldn't want that. I'm doing the Naughty Nitwits knit along, the 2017 socket knit along, and I am doing that for March and April along with the Stockinette Zombies. Sorry, it's one of my favourite podcasts. Stockinette Zombies SKUs socks knit along. So the Stockinette Zombies one is each week you do this part of the sock, and after 4 weeks you have a completed sock. Well, the Naughty Nitwits says you have to do an entire pair a month, starting from the first to the last of the month. And the cheater way out of that is doing 2 socks that don't match and call them a pair. That's what I did. You already saw the finished homegrown socks. I hadn't realised when I cast on for the homegrown socks that you actually do the back part here in moss stitch, but it makes for very roomy legs, so not complaining. I already talked about this last week, so let's talk about my skew sock. Here it is in all its oranginess. The skews are a bit weird on the sock blocker. I might as well take it off. Just going to do that. And let's just put that over there. And we'll shake it out. In a tribute to Taylor Swift, apparently. The skew socks. It's a free knitty pattern, and this is made by. I have made it in accordance with the modifications that Aliens Are Real. Aliens Are Real put on her project page. She has excellent notes. You just follow along for each section. So, these are knit on a 2.25mm. They're a bit tight in the leg on me, not invariably so, and they still fit over my ankle and everything, but they are a bit tight. And this is how you tell which sock you're going to put on. Because believe me, this looks so weird on my right foot and fits perfectly on my left foot. It's a very clever pattern, and I love the origami moment down here, where you kitchener together 2 parts of the heel, more or less. Now, these haven't been washed because I'm waiting to do that for when I actually have a pair. And I'm also waiting to do to take out my markers until I pass each section on my second sock, which will be cast on Saturday, April 1st. Can you believe it's April 1st already? Also, this marker could easily be removed. It just tells me where I was last week when you saw this. So yeah, March done. Let's see. That's my only finished object. Other things I've been knitting on is this light yellow Xenon top by Andy Sutherland, and as you can see, it's a proper top now with, well, it's not really sleeves, it's more like, well, I wouldn't even call it a sleeve cap, it's just, it ends past my shoulder and gives a bit of coverage to the upper part of my arms. And I have joined in the round, which is, well, it's partially a joy and it's partially annoying. The joy bit is that I can just knit it around and go around and not care. And that's what I did from this progress marker, which is where I was last time. These denote the decreases I've done. The pain about going round and round is that I have a lot of stitches, and this yarn is, well, it's clearly yellow. I don't have the extra yarn with me right now, but this is what it looks like. That's the put up it comes in. It's by BC Garn and it's a lino, which is a 50-50 linen cotton mix, and it's such a dead and stiff yarn to work with. It'll soften up beautifully, and it'll be soft and cool to wear when it's actually some out. But sorry, it takes forever, or it seems to take forever to get around, because it's a tough yarn to work with. I did, however, distract myself by working on this while I was watching the first Formula 1 race this past Sunday, and while watching the qualifying. And it was a lot of fun. I had the right driver won, so, well, one of the right drivers. But yeah, this definitely feels like much like something that'll have to be TV knitting or Formula 1 knitting or whatever, because it feels like it takes forever to get anywhere. And I don't really think about that when I'm watching something. I'm just going to move this marker here up before I forget, so that I can track my progress for next week. Like a good podcaster. Because we all know I'm not a good podcaster, but I can pretend. It's going to be so great to wear this with my skirt. Third thing I've been knitting on, but my second work in progress is a lot further along than when you last saw it, and right now it's a tangled mess. This right here is, here we go, now we're cooking. This is the Portico, and it's, oh my god guys, it's so soft, so soft. It's soft because the yarn is Blend Bamboo by Yadigan. I noticed that some of these skeins have a dot on them, I don't know if that's because I got them on sale because the color is discontinued, or if the LYS got it from just stopped carrying this particular color. I'm not sure. But as it says, it's a blend and it's bamboo. It's 70% bamboo, 30% cotton. And like I said, it's so soft. It's ridiculous. Now, this here will be a crop top. If I'm just going to stand up. As you can tell, well, you can't really tell, but sorry about the noise. It hits me right around here. And my skirt, the skirt I'm talking about is the Zinnia skirt I showed you last week. I think I showed you last week. Hits around here. So it's a great throw on over my skirt and a tank top piece. Just sorry about the noise. Because it does have these eyelets, so it requires me to wear a tank top underneath. But that just means I can pick out fun colours, especially since both this and the Zinnia skirt, or if I'll wear my black skirt or something, a different coloured skirt, I can wear a fun colour underneath and liven it up a bit. But yeah, I was all the way down here by the piggy. Oh, where's the piggy? There's the piggy. Last week, and I just worked my way up, and I'm now separated and added the little sleeve-like edge here. The original is knit in 2 pieces and then seamed. Now, oh, I'm being blinded and completely washed out by the sun now. I hope you can still see what's going on, because I can't really. But what I was going to say is that I don't have time for seaming. I know that the side would be more stable if I did seam it. Do I care? No, not really. Another thing is that I am planning on, when I do the other side, and both sides are the same, so I am tracking. I have a marker here to show where I started doing just this side, so I can duplicate it or replicate it. I'm going to, when I do knit the other side, we can call it the back. When I pick up for the back, or pick this back up and do the back, I'm going to pick up my extra stitches from here instead of casting on and seaming, because, well, it just seems like a better option. But yeah, that's the other thing I've been knitting on. And that's it for the knitting, really. I have also been doing some sewing. Last week I showed you the fabric that I got in Aarhus, but from the shop Meter Meter. And I showed you that I'd sewn this. Did I go back? Sorry about being all up in your face. I did this back here, back facing, using a bias tape. And I think that's all I'd done last time. And as you can see, I'm doing this in a light grey to sort of match these squares, because the background fabric here was too hard for me to match with something that I found pleasing. Anyway, since then, I've done the back. I've bound the back arm holes, both sides. I've added on the front. The front is actually 2 layers of fabric. Sorry if that grossed you out. But it's actually 2 pieces of fabric, or 1 piece of fabric folded over, so it lines itself. And you do this amazing, I don't know why I said amazing, but you do this fun yoke trick that ensures that these edges are actually hidden just from putting them together. This is the back side with my bad stitching right there. And it's looking like a dress now, because I put the skirt in, and the skirt has side pockets, which I just love. I stopped right after putting the skirt together with the bodice, because I now have to sew a bit here to make it, or to have an encasing for my elastic waistband. That'll cinch it in a bit. Actually, I don't know if it needs cinching in a bit. Part of me is thinking that I could just do it, or keep it as it is, but then the pockets are too low. But yeah, it's looking very much dress-like now. And it's definitely a summer dress, because it is a bit sheer in the light, and well, it won't be sheer when I wear it, but it is a bit sheer to look at, or look through. Has a waterfall neckline here, which, if this had been a thin jersey knit, like the original, this is the metal pattern, by the way, by Colette Patterns. I don't think I said that. I need to snip a couple of threads there. The original is a knit jersey, which makes the neckline cascade more, I think, whereas this is a bit more stiff, but it still lies nicely when you just give it a bit of a tug. It is very fitted around the chest on me, which probably, well, if I'd done it in knit, I wouldn't have to worry about that, but because I've done it in a woven material, it is noticeable while wearing it that it is fitted, but I do like my clothes fitted, despite what this Bettine dress that I'm wearing tells you. So I'm really happy about this, and I'm not going to take too much off on the length, maybe just a couple of centimeters for the hem, because I really like the hem, the way it flows, or the way the skirt flows, and I like to keep as much of the length as possible, because I think it's a pretty flattering length on me, at least when I hold it up to my body it seems like it. But it's a bit hard to tell because, as I said, I need the encasing for the waistband, and that'll take out some of the length, but I think even doing so, that the length, just taking the hem up a bit, will be perfect. And that should be it. I mean, it's a lot, it might just be in tiny pieces, and therefore it might not seem like a lot, as if I'd If I knit on 5 things, I could show you 5 things I haven't. What I have, however, as I mentioned, I just got back today because I've been to visit my dad and other stuff. And you hear that crinkling? Well, I have stopped, well, this has a bit of story. As you know, I am not buying any yarn in 2017 while attempting to cold sheep. I'm really sorry about the crinkling. I know how annoying it can be if you're wearing headphones. Anyway, not too far from where my dad or parents live and where I grew up. Well, on Langeland, which is an island it's a really long island south of Funen, close to the coast of Germany. If you look at a map, there's a town called Tranekær, and near that town there's an elderly couple who have, since she turned 50, have been keeping llamas and in later years also alpacas. They call themselves Lamaland. Or Lameland. And this is her information. And Birgit is the loveliest woman. And her love of llamas comes from her love of spinning, which started with her inheriting a wheel from her mom, I think it was. And, well, I got to go. We've been once before, but no one was home. They made a path around the enclosure so you could actually go and look at the llamas, and they have several alpacas, but with the female llamas is the one male alpaca, and then you have the male llama in an enclosure by himself, and he is gorgeous. I mean, just fluff extraordinaire. And he knows it. He knows he's gorgeous. And then they have an enclosure that you can't really see from the or from the path, where they have the female alpacas. Now, alpacas and llamas are not pets that will come up to you and ask to be petted. This time around, they were home, and they said, "Oh, you just go through the stable and go out into the enclosure with the llamas." So of course we did. And I tried to feed them. I tried to get close. I have never felt so rejected in my life. The male alpaca did nibble a bit on the grass that my dad held out to it, but the rest just looked at us, and well, they didn't mind us being there. It's not like they ran for the hills and then came back as soon as we moved. They moved around and didn't really want us to get too close. I mean, too close meant less than 2 meters from us. So it's not like humans. Oh. But the thing about Birgit is that not only does she have llamas and alpacas, she also shears them. And she spins the wool. You can buy wool from them, or you can buy her hand spun. And her hand spun, well, I just couldn't resist. I mean, I've stood close to the llama that gave up his coat for this. It's a fingering weight yarn. It's a 2-ply and I think there's like 200 grams here. Yeah, about 200 grams. Pure llama. And the price for all of her yarn, 1 krona per gram. I mean, that's for hand spun. That's ridiculous. Technically, I didn't break my code sheet because my dad actually paid for this. Despite me saying, well, I have cash in the car, but he had his wallet on him. And he's my dad and he's encouraging and I love him. I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but I had to have it. And it's still got the lanolin and yeah. She takes out most of the guard hair, so that's nice. Now, the alpacas were in a different field, so we didn't get to meet them, but they did look looked at us a lot with a lot of curiosity. And at 1 krona per gram, how could I resist the softest, squishiest baby alpaca? 100% baby alpaca, hand spun. Again, it's about a fingering weight and so soft and squishy. Ugh. Still don't know what to do with it, but had to have it. And I love this chocolate brown color. It's just, all of her alpacas are this chocolate brown color, I think. No, there were a couple of white ones. My last purchase is 2 skeins, and it's actually a mixture of Angora, bunny, and llama. And again, I've met this white llama. No, I don't think I put a photo of it on my Instagram. I posted a photo of a tan, gorgeous llama. But yeah, this is a 50-50 Angora and llama mix. Hand spun. It's going to fluff up so nice. I think it's going to be a shawl. I know I said I'm not knitting shawls this year, but it's so soft and it just needs to be around my neck and be fluffy and large and yeah. Now, she does live in the countryside, and she did recommend this herself, that well, she hasn't experienced a moth problem in her stable where she has her little studio, but she recommends freezing it and keeping lavender or something like it. So I'm going to do that. But this place, the couple is so nice. And to be honest, my dad's reaction when he read the article about them in the paper, which is how he found out and told me about it, was, let's not wait to visit, because it might, who knows how long they'll be able to still take care of the animals, because even if they do, well, during the summer they do feed themselves on the grass and they run around outside, and there's not a lot of things they have to do to look after them, but still, it's an elderly couple and they have a lot of animals. So we went to the llama land and I bought yarn with no purpose, but I just had to have it. And that's it. That's everything, I think. And we still have light. The sun has stopped trying to blind me. And I'm done. Can't really think of anything more. Because as I mentioned last time, watched the Formula 1, now it's just, it's Thursday, it's going to be a chill, relaxed evening with a bit of knitting, probably on my portico top, because I like the monotony of just having to knit back and forth, but still with a bit of lace. So it's not complicated, but it's not too boring. And it's still early-ish, so I might catch up on the latest Talking at Zombies podcast, because I haven't watched that yet, on account of me being away, and knit a bit while this uploads. Sounds like a plan to you? Yeah, me too. So, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye!